Well, hello, folks. It is Tuesday now, the 9th of July, and my camera is working. I checked it before I started. Cheers. So, No Time Records. This is the imprint of RAF, my band that was inspired by hardcore punk. We have an album out. The band is on hiatus for a number of reasons. I do hope that we get together and play again at least once more in life. The album is good. Some folks have bought it. It's good. Oh. So what to share today? Well, I'll start here. Fourth Dimension, Richard, thank you for continuing to send the stuff. Sent me one of their new releases. I love this already. Reverse Image and Thomas Bay, William Bailey. Tokokawa. Tokokawa. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice presentation with the band and the obi or whatever you call the slip? That beautiful artwork. I love presentation. I really do. And this is lovely. And you know what's even better is the music. The work deserves it. It fits. This is sound work. Using analog modular synthesizers, real-time digital processing, and this is a real good example. Not an example. This is just really, Richard, boy, even more than Base Communion. And there's another one that I'll try to find it for the next video. Another one of your older releases. I think the title begins with a K. Really atmospheric. This is wonderful because it's like it's constantly evolving. It's like moving through a landscape or traveling, and the different things that you encounter, and the way the weather changes, and the atmosphere, and all of that is. On my first listen, I listened to almost the whole thing. First listen, I like it that much. On first listen, it's very compelling. You can identify some of the sounds, but mostly what it is it's very. I find it to be very imaginative. It's like, where am I now? What am I seeing now? What is this conjuring up? What I like about it is that it's not conjuring up darkness or bleakness, which music that does that has its place. But I'm more drawn to things that aren't so dark. I will listen to some of that stuff, but this is sound work that I really like. This is real good. Highly on one listen, I can highly recommend this. Fourth Dimension, you're knocking it out of the ballpark, Richard. This is some good shit. Thank you for sharing it with me. Thank you very much for sharing it with me. I haven't got back to the new Eloin, Brian Day's latest, but again, this is another example of sound work that I really like. It's very imaginative and it's not dark. I've spent enough time in catacombs and in caves and stuff. And every now and then that stuff is intriguing, but mostly no. This is sitting out in the other room, so I grabbed it because I was showing it to Blake on my birthday. Hawkwind's Bass Ritual. I saw them on the tour after this tour. And it came to Nebraska. The whole band, Stasia, Lemmy, Nick Turner. The light show that you see on here, They were tripping balls. I was right up at the stage. It was so fun to watch Dave Brock watch his light show. It was cool. He was just so high. He's watching the light show more than even focusing on the fact that he's playing a gig. Shit like that is special. I love that. You know, there's been a couple of shows in town, and it's people that I like, but that's one thing about my age that I'll admit. We get to a certain time at night, and I'm about ready to go to bed. So, like, for example, last night, the Baseball Project, or what do they call, Mike Mills with some other people were in town, played last night. For a hot second, I thought that I would try to go to say hello, see if Mike Mills remembers me, because he probably does, but I wasn't interested in the music, honestly. And then the night on my birthday, Exene Cervenka and John Doe played here in town. That would have been another one where it would have been go to say hello. I've never owned any records by X, but Digital Sex, we used to cover Hungry Wolf by X. So I respect them, but honestly can't think of too many people like I really need to go see. And I do think it's part my age, and it's part of how I feel about myself. I don't want to go watch people play. Not really. If I'm going to go out, I want to go play. I'm really missing RAF. The drummer, I'll show the record. The drummer moved to Arizona. Where's my album? Oh, I've moved it back there. 1 second, I want to show it. So our drummer moved, so we can't operate, and then the guitarist broke his thumb, so he's recovering. But this is the RAF album on No Time Records. There it is, No Time. This is an example of where a band, there we are. It's like we wanted to complete, it was like this is something that we needed to complete. We'd made a cassette back in the 80s, but since then, the band had grown, and we wanted to get this new material out. And we did half joke to ourselves that we would end up with someone would end up with a room full of records unsold, which is what we have. My kitchen is full of RAF records in boxes because we're not able to tour. And all along I knew that wasn't going to happen, but we wanted to make the record anyway. Anyway, it's really quite good. You ought to grab it. I was thinking I wanted to share this too. I was thinking it was 10 years ago that I put this out, but it's actually 12. 2012 is when I put this out with the help of members of the vinyl community. This is my third album, but it was the one that I thought, man, if I could put one of my records out, because I'd had 1 and 2 out already. Number 3 was the one. So it was supposed to be a run of 250 copies. And so there's 100 copies on black vinyl out, and there's only 80 copies on red vinyl. Of course, I kept number 1 for myself because it meant a lot to me to get this done. I wonder if you could find a copy of this for sale. There's only 80 copies. There might be one for sale on Discogs or something. Maybe you can find a black one. as I was going through my archives, as I was telling you, I've been doing recently, I come across super early versions of some of the stuff on this album and other stuff. Real proud of this. See if you can find it. If you're interested, it's worth it. So, the only other thing I'd like to share is thank you thank you. I look online and I'm still getting happy birthdays. I even got a nice personal message from Renata from Amandul too. Hadn't heard from her in a while, but that means so much, And Jonas Bier of Muse sent me a very nice personal message for my birthday. I really appreciate it, folks. I really do. It lets me know that, I'm living right. I want to make a comment about current events, though. I find it despicable that the corporate-owned mainstream media in America are making such a big deal about Biden's this whole idea of maybe he should step down, maybe he's feeble. I think to me it's so clear what the agenda is, which is these corrupt corporate criminals. I mean, that's what I want to call them. It's like, you folks really want to set it up so that we're stuck with Trump? That will serve your purposes, won't it? Folks have no interest in democracy. I just see it so clearly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the people who run things don't give a damn about people. They just care about power and what they got. And it's just real obvious to me by the events, the way that they're portrayed. I do look at news from all sorts of sources, not just mainstream American, all over the world, okay? Sometimes I bristle when people say stuff that, I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday, people. I can tell you, what to do. Don't be trying to tell me shit. So I'm kind of really backing off a lot of the news because it's just terrible. It's not going in the direction it needs to go towards healing. I guess it's just up to us as individuals to do the best that we can in our lives and try to make our little parts of the world better, because we're not getting no help from the people who have the power and the resources to do big things. They're just making money and whatever else they're doing, but it sure doesn't reflect goodwill towards the common person. So thanks again for the love and being connected to me. And that's what's on my mind this morning. So I'll just stop there, okay?